Good day, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to this week's learning session from Training Location. We are an authorized DiSC distributor for Wiley Publishing, as well as a channel partner with the Ken Blanchard Companies. My name is Bill Harshman, and I'll be your presenter today for this short, informative lesson. We know that the four-quadrant DiSC model actually houses a total of 12 styles. This lesson continues our increased understanding of not just the four quadrants within which with which we're already familiar, rather an understanding how changing proximity or the distance to a neighboring style within a particular quadrant actually yields a result which identifies a separate, unique DiSC style. Today's focus is on one of those styles, that is the SI or steady influence style. And where'd this come from? Well, as the DiSC has evolved, become totally computer-based, the algorithms showed a much more robust capability to plot your dot very specifically within one of those four quadrants. Then research showed that the analysis and weighting of the result placed the same styles in various places of a given quadrant. Simply put, the result was different degrees of the same style and slightly differing preferences and priorities. So what's in this for you today? This lesson is helpful if you haven't taken the DiSC, or if you don't know your DiSC style, maybe you did take it once, or if you're a style other than SI. Now, just a quick note, any style with two letters, like we're going to deal with today, I call a combined style. Depending on the sequencing of the combined style letters, the first letter, is more prominent than the second. For example, in the case of SI style, the S is the prominent style. As such, in the case of the combined SI style, much of the criteria, the priorities, the qualities, etc., that we'll talk about, are reflective of the S or steady quadrant where it resides. So, a quick summary of the SI style. Let's start with what we know. We already know a couple basics about the SI style, which reside within the steady quadrant. This S quadrant, including the SI, the S, and the SC styles, as you can see, has a pace of cautious and reflective combined with an agreeableness quotient of accepting and warm, which we refer to as people-focused. And the brief list of observable behaviors or descriptors still includes even-tempered, accommodating, patient, humble, and tactful. Now, from our model, we also know that the SI style priorities differ slightly from those of the S and SC styles and include enthusiasm, collaboration, and support. As we proceed in this lesson, you'll notice one or more of these priorities identified in our SI candidate. Refer to our blog titled Everything DiSC Workplace Profile, the 8 priorities, if you'd like to understand more about the priorities associated with DiSC styles, specifically the one today, the SI. Now, the thrust of this lesson is around the priorities and qualities that tie those aforementioned descriptors together. So let's begin by examining the SI priorities. Priorities, which are listed around the circumference of the model, are the primary areas where people focus their energy depending on their DiSC style. Everyone has at least 3, and some have 4 to 5. Having more than 3 is no better or worse. I'm sharing priorities from the Everything DiSC Workplace profile in this example. Now, the Everything DiSC Workplace priorities are unique to you and based on your results. Priorities are simply to help us understand how our style might be reflected in motivations and behaviors given real-life situations or scenarios. The important thing to remember is that when things get foggy, such as when there's stress or uncertainty, we seek the priorities associated with our style. Now, the priorities of the SI style, which are shared with the adjacent IS style, include collaboration. The SI likes to involve others in making decisions. They try to build team spirit and are less concerned with individual accomplishment. The second priority is support. The SI places a high importance on the needs of others. Their accommodating nature sets aside their own opinions and needs to help others. And third and last is enthusiasm. The SI comes across as cheerful. They tend to see the positive in most situations and are encouraging of other people's ideas. Next, we consider the qualities of the SI style. These are similar to core needs that we've talked about before. However, they're less unconscious and more at the surface, near conscious, observable behavior. Now, the qualities vary and are represented in scales. Here's a note. Due to the pairings of style to form a particular scale, you'll notice that these dual letter designations are shared with their neighboring dual letter mirror. For example, the SI and IS, as you can see, are physically paired together and as such share qualities. Same is true of the CS and SC and the CD and DC styles and the ID and DI proximity and styles. The result is 8 DiSC scales instead of 12, which you might expect. So we have 12 styles contained within 8 scales. So enough about that. And let me note here, though the SI and IS styles, for example, are separate and unique, you can consider the SI and IS styles in one scale when it comes to qualities. Let's take a look. So the qualities of the SI/IS style include positivity, goodwill, and empathy. Now, positivity. If you ask the SI, they'll tell you they believe life is and should be pleasant and that they tend to assume the best of the world. And even during stress, they're confident that it's only temporary. They're open and willing to go with the flow, and they would rather bend than fight. And they prefer the path of least resistance and tend to avoid tasks which can threaten their positive outlook. Goodwill. The SI wants everyone to get along and thrive in a positive, harmonious environment where there's a sense of belonging and connection. Believing the best about people, they tend to give others the benefit of the doubt to take what they say at face value. They won't question sincerity and they don't guard their pride. Empathy. The SI is driven to understand others and as such are attentive to people's feelings. Their ability to connect with people is very important in their life. They're about making sure others are happy and comfortable. They tend to feel uneasy when others are struggling, so will avoid being the source of any irritability or discomfort. They'll overlook poor behavior rather than confront someone or provide honest feedback. This aspect can make it tough for the SI style to hold others accountable. Now, where the two styles differ, the SI and the IS, up until now, I've referred to the neighboring two styles interchangeably in terms of overlap of their priorities and their qualities, respectively. However, it's important to remember they are two different unique DiSC styles. The placement of those dots on the DiSC model is determined by computer algorithms, and I want to share some clarifying or identifying information to help make this distinction clear. This table shows that the two styles share only priorities and qualities, which you see highlighted in the green bars there. However, they differ in terms of their other criteria as determined where their respective dots fell within different quadrants on the DiSC model. So to some, these differences may seem very subtle. However, lumping them together would be inappropriate and wrong. So one of our cornerstone principles tells us that each and all DiSC styles are unique and equally valuable. So that was a lot of new, detailed, complex information. What do I glean from that, and how do I apply meaning to my daily life? Well, consider this. There is an implication for leadership, if nothing else. The SI style gets 360 feedback from their managers and direct reports and peers, which points to the lowest ratings when it comes to setting high expectations, speaking up about problems, and letting others know when some sort of of action is needed. Conversely, the SI style got their highest ratings when it comes to being approachable, maintaining solid information relationships with everyone, building cohesion and familiarity and trust. Let's also consider some of the assumptions operating within people who have the SI style. If you're an SI, see which one of these might fit for you. First one, if my world isn't in harmony, things are bad. If things don't feel harmonious to me, something's wrong. I can show my value by helping people. When I see others in need, I must help them. I am responsible for people's happiness. I must be accepted. And it is intolerable to have someone mad at me. The so what here? for the SI is to consider how they would increase their effectiveness. At a glance, the SI is into friendship and working with others. However, this can come across as indirect and avoiding if it's overused. This lesson can help the SI to increase effectiveness by accepting and understanding their own style, then incorporating what they know about other styles toward improved communication. All right, I hope this overview has increased your awareness, your knowledge, and familiarity of the DiSC, and specifically the SI style. Whether your needs include leadership, onboarding, culture change, coaching, team building, or just simply communication 101, as I call it, DiSC is a research-based, proven leading training solution. It's impacted more than 8 million learners in over 130,000 organizations and through 14 languages in over 70 countries worldwide. It's simple. DiSC provides a quick, intuitive way to understand yourself and others, and it delivers immediate and lasting impact on the people and the culture of organizations. And as always, the key to effectiveness through DiSC is understanding your and other styles, then using that knowledge for improved interactions. So we have a full suite of everything DiSC assessments to help you craft individual and team solutions at our website, traininglocation.com. And here's our contact info. And before you go, I want to extend you a resource and a request. I'd be happy to send you a sample PDF of any DiSC profiles you see on our website, or if you'd like to discuss a complimentary live webinar introducing DiSC or one of the profiles to your team or organization, shoot me an email at info@traininglocation.com. Please be sure and check out our learning blog for other blogs and topics that we've done previously, and keep an eye out for our next article in the series. Before you close your screen, we always appreciate your like, your share, download, and of course, for continued learning, please subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss out on any new content. Thank you for joining us, and goodbye till next time.